So we testify against any that don't confirm all the Torah. They have to confirm all the Torah and not some of it. It says, I testify against them that you might bring them back to your Torah. See, this is in order to get people to come back to the Torah. Yet they acted proudly and did not heed your commandments, and committed iniquities against your judgments, which if a man does, he shall live by them. And they shrugged their shoulders. Our people today shrugging their shoulders, keeping their stiff necks, keeping their necks stiff, and would not hear. This is what we're doing today. Psalm 78, 40 through 42. How often they provoked him in the wilderness and grieved him in the desert. How often did our people do this? We read this. They did it over and over. How often we provoke him today and we challenge him. Oh, that's not what he's saying. See, when he says something and a person say, oh, that's not what he's saying. When he says to come out of her and a person say you can't come out of her, that's not what he's saying. And they provoke him when they do this, and they lead others astray. It's one thing to deceive yourself. It's another thing when you're deceiving people. This is one thing I try very, very, very hard not to deceive anyone. And if it's anything that I've said in the past, there have been something or some things I've said and some videos I've done, I've removed them. If I find it not to be true, I remove them. Yes, again and again, they tempt Yahuah. Again and again, we tempt him. And limit the Kadash one of Yashar'al. See, we limit him when we say we can't come out. We don't have money. We can't do this. We can't do that. Edom gonna kill us if we leave his land. He's not gonna kill us if we stay. Listen at this mentality. He's not gonna kill us if we stay, but if we leave, he gonna kill us. You see, they limit the Most High power. They limit what he can do for them. So he sit back and say, okay, my power will do you no good. They did not remember his power. This is where we're at. We don't remember his power. And we focus on our power, our abilities, and what we can do and what we cannot do. And we so easily misled when another person speaks. We have the Most High speaking to us in one ear, and we have man speaking into the others. And man speaking smooth things. What the Most High is speaking is, it's what it is. The day when he redeemed them from the enemy. Now, this is what happens to us. When we keep our necks stiff, we don't listen over and over, time and time again. He's telling us the same thing. This is what happens. Luke 21:24. And they fell by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. We end up getting scattered into all nations. We make the land sick. We make the Most High sick. And when the Most High gets sick with us and the land gets sick with us, the land vomit us out. It vomit us out. And then Jerusalem will be left to be trampled by Gui until the times of Gui are fulfilled. Proverbs 29:1. He who is often rebuked and hardens his neck will suddenly be destroyed. See, these people the Most High have to rebuke over and over, and harden their necks over and over, suddenly will be destroyed. And they're going to be looking for the same one to save them, and he will be the one that destroyed them. And that without remedy. There will be no remedy. There will be no cure. There will be no one to deliver. This is what it's saying. None shall deliver you in these lands of captivity. That's in the Torah. And people don't believe that. They shrug their shoulders. They make their necks stick, harden their hearts, and they continue. This is Song of Solomon 2. And I'm starting at the first verse and I'm going to read down. When the sinner waxed proud, here's our people. When we wax proud with a battered ram, he cast down fortified walls, and you did not restrain him. alien nations ascended into his altar. You see this? Other nations come down. This is what we just saw. Those nations come down. They are in the land now. They trample it proudly with their sandals. They're trampling the land. They're trampling his place of Kadash, and they are trampling it down. Jerusalem is being trampled by Gui because the sons of Jerusalem had defiled the Kadash things of Yahuah, had profaned with iniquities and offerings of Yahuah. So this is why it happened. Therefore he said, cast them far from me. Here the land about to spit the people up. It was set at naught before Yahuah. It was utterly dishonored. The sons and the daughters were in grievous captivity, sealed. We was in grievous captivity, sealed. Was their neck branded, and was among the nations. This was all of Yashar'al. Don't believe the lie of Yehuda only. The Most High would have to, he would have to give an apology to the rest of Yashar'al to do only one tribe. That's ridiculous teaching and ridiculous thinking. Once again, going against the word. When he told all of us, when this Torah was for all of us, when this curse was for all of us, if you don't heed my voice, I will cast you among all nations and all lands. According to the iniquity he hath done unto them, for he hath left them in the hands of them that prevailed, and he hath turned away his face from pitying them. He turned his face. We turned from him. I told you, when we turn from him, he turns from us. And when we turn back to him, he turns back to us. Young and old, with their children together, for they had done evil. They have done evil. Look at this. Evil, every one of them all, and not hearken, and none of them listen. And the heavens, Shamayim, were angry, and the earth abhorred them. Look, watch out. Watch yourself. You don't want the earth to abhor you. You don't want the heavens to be angry with you. You don't want the Most High to be angry with you. Forget those trolls on YouTube, online. You better be worrying about the Most High. You better be worrying about the earth. You better be worrying about the heavens. For no man upon it had done what they did. Look at what I'm reading. And the earth recognized all their righteous judgments of Yahuah. They reckoned listen, when the Most High judgment came through, the people saw it. The earth saw it. The host in Shamayim saw it. They set the sons of Jerusalem to be mocked. In a return for harlots, mock and return for harlots, turn into harlots. Every wayfarer entered in the full of light. Listen, they doing thing in daylight. They made mock with their transgression as they themselves did not do. In the full light of day, they revealed their iniquities. They're doing things in broad daylight. They're doing wicked things in broad daylight. And the daughters of Jerusalem were defiled in accordance to your judgment, because they had defiled themselves with unnatural intercourse. What do you see today? People all in the land, people in Babylon, they're having unnatural intercourse. You know, men with men, women with women, men with kids, men with boys, women with boys, and women with girls. This is unnatural intercourse. He says, I'm pain in my bowels and my inward parts for these things. We should be in pain. You see, this is why we had to come out of those wicked lands, because of the crap they're doing, because of the unnatural intercourse. And I've told you, you listen to these false teachers if you want. That crap don't go on over here. I will justify, says the most High, in uprightness of heart. For in thy judgment is your righteousness. For you have rendered to those that commit iniquities according to their deeds. The Most High have rendered to the people according to their deeds, not what they believe. Remember, according to their iniquity, which were very wicked. He's going to repay the wicked Whether Yashar'al or Yahuah, he is a repair of those that commit iniquity against his words. Listen, Yahuah, he is a repair to Yahuah that don't listen to Yashar'al when they bring forth his word. You have uncovered their iniquity, that your judgment might be manifest. You have wiped out their memorial from the earth. Remember, we didn't know who we were. Yahuah is a righteous judge. Everything he does is righteous. And he is no respecter of persons. You see, he scattered all of us, all of the different sons of Yaakov. For the nations reproach Jerusalem, trample it down. Her beauty was dragged down from the throne of splendor. She girded on sackcloth instead of comely raiment. Look at this. Instead, a rope was around her head instead of a crown. There was a rope instead of a crown. She put off the diadem, the marvelous diadem which Yahuah had set upon her. In dishonor was her beauty cast upon the ground. It says, and I saw and entreated of Yahuah and said, long enough, Yahuah, your hand been heavy on Yashar'al in bringing the nations upon them. His hand was heavy upon Yashar'al, and this is something he had to do. This is something that was needed. This was something, if he hadn't have done it, we would have continued in our iniquity. He did it so we could turn back to him. Make sure you understand why he did it. This was his fierce anger. And it was until he rebuked us in his wrath until he made a complete end of the heritage of Yashar'al. We didn't know who we were. And his hand, this is something I had to go back to add to this. His hand was so heavily upon us. This is what he said in Micah 6:3. Oh, my people, what have I done to you? He laid his hand heavily. It was very, very heavy, too heavy. We couldn't bear it. How have I wearied you? He said, testify against me. He's saying, tell the people what I did to you. Tell the people how much. Tell the people that I was the one that laid a heavy hand on you. This is what he's saying. It was me that did this, said Yahuah, because of what we did. This is the Psalm of Solomon 5:7-9. Oh, Yahuah. Wait a minute. No. 7. Okay. When we were in distress, we called upon Yahuah for help. It says, and you did not turn back your petition. This is one thing the Most High, when we come back to him, he listened. And you are Shadi. Cause not. This is our prayer to him. This should be your prayer. Cause not your hand to be heavy upon us, lest through necessity we commit iniquity. We want his hand to be loose from us. We want him to remove his heavy hand from us, that we may see and understand his word. Even though you restored us not, we will not keep away. Look at this. But unto you we will come. This is what should be in our hearts and our mind. We have to remember it was him that laid this heavy hand upon us. And this heavy hand, it should guide us back to him. Because this heavy hand puts us back. When he knocked us upside our head, he knocked sense into our head. Sometimes our kids, when they got out of line, we had to knock sense into their head, and then they understood and began to act right. But we need this hand to be removed from us, that we may see what his word is saying, that we may hearken unto his voice, to listen and to follow him. For surely his hand has been very heavily upon Yashar'al, and he is in the process of lifting this hand. But to those that don't listen and continue to stiff their necks, this hand will still be upon them. And I hate to say it, death will come to these people, and there shall be none, as scripture says, there shall be none to bury their dead bodies. Shabbat Shalom.